Good morning, teachers. This interview is aimed at knowing your experience relate to jet lag.
Good morning. I'm glad to help you.
Yeah. How frequently do you travel by plane?
Maybe once or twice a year.
How you suffer from jet lag effects while you're
Mm,
traveling on long distance flight?
Not so much, but I have heard some stories about that.
If yes, which are the symptoms? How you suffer from?
Uh, Maybe lack of sleep, I'm tired, or dehydration, maybe those.
How do you reduce the jet lag effects every time you fly?
I try to cover my face with something dark, like a t-shirt. I try to drink water, and I try to read. Because when you read, you forget everything and you get distracted from that jet lag.
Okay, thank you, teacher. That was all.
Thank you to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kaiser.
Afternoon, my friend.
This interview is aimed at knowing your experience about the jet lag. I invite you to answer the following questions. Yes. How frequently do you travel by plane?
Actually, I sometimes travel by plane. I would say like once a year, sometimes twice, more once a year.
Have you suffered jet lag effects while traveling on long distance flights?
Yes, I have.
If yes, which are the symptoms you have suffered from?
I usually get some colds and flus. Sometimes what I also get is hydration. So that's the most frequently symptoms I also.
How do you reduce the jet lag effects every time you fly?
Oh, what I do is for my hydration, I had to do before I travel. I gotta buy some energy drinks, Gatorades, so that helps me really, really a lot. And what also is my wife, she reminds me to get some medicine in my bag. So that's really good when I travel, through more than 4 songs. So that's what it
Okay,
is.
okay, Mr. Kaiser. That was all.
Okay, thank you to invite me to this conversation.
Okay. Good evening, Miss Daniela. This interview is aimed at knowing your experience related to jet lag. I kindly invite you to answer the following questions. How frequently do you travel by plane?
I travel by plane every 6 months to go visit family in Ecuador.
Have you suffered from jet lag while traveling on long distance flights?
Yes, I do.
Which are the symptoms you have suffered from?
The symptoms I suffer are ear and nose and throat problem.
How do you reduce the jet lag effects every time you fly?
I reduce jet lag effects every time I fly by wearing earplugs to relieve air pressure. I also drink tea the night before and after the flight to help my throat.
Thank you, Miss Daniela. That was all.
You're welcome.
Hi, Miss Indy. This interview is admit I know
Hi, how are you?
your experience related to jet lag. I can invite you to answer the following questions. How frequently do you travel by plane?
I try to travel about once a year to go visit my family in Spain. I also try to take a little vacation while I'm there as well.
Have you suffered from jet lag while traveling long distance flight?
Yes, I've definitely experienced jet lag while traveling long distance.
Which are the symptoms you have suffered from?
A few symptoms that I've suffered is lack of energy, tiredness, stomach pains.
How do you reduce jet lag effects every time you fly?
The way that I reduce jet lag effects every time I fly by getting plenty of the sleep the night before. If it's a nighttime at my destination, I try sleeping on the plane. A few ways that help me sleep is by listening to music. I also like to drink tea if I get stomach pains. It helps my body relax. And I also like turning off the lights, like that any light exposure isn't in my way.
Thank you, Miss Cindy. That was everything.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, Miss Salome. This interview is aimed at knowing your experience related to jet lag. I invite you to answer the following questions. How frequently do you travel by plane?
Once a year, maybe two, depending.
Have you suffered from jet lag while traveling on long distance flights?
Not so often, but generally, yeah, I can get easy.
Which are the symptoms you have suffered from?
Mostly I have dehydration, and it can be tiredness, and some of the times I cannot sleep well. Maybe I get concerned with the dream, and um, it's like time for bed, and I am not more sleeping. What else? Sometimes I feel like time is no going for me, and I cannot name another one. Maybe I'm a little exhausted all the day, and sometimes I wake up too early. That's all.
How do you reduce the jet lag effects every time you fly?
What? Sorry, can you repeat again?
How do you reduce jet lag effects every time you fly?
Oh, I think the most important is about the changing of the hours for sleeping. For example, when you travel a lot, your body does not adjust to that changes, and that makes you a little bit tired more often than the normal. And you usually get a lot of water. And what else? I never happened, but I heard of some people that they suffer from stomach aches and maybe diarrhea and those kind of things because you don't get to eat at the same time that you need, maybe 8 hours, something like that. So you should be careful about that.
Okay, thank you, Miss Salome. That was all.
Okay, thank you very much.